Yo, what is good, everybody? It is your boy Golden Falls, Golden What Ifs, whatever you want to call me, and I am back. This is part two of What If Tanjiro had spirit breathing. And as always, if you guys enjoy, please show some love. Leave a like, leave a sub, leave a comment down below, all that good stuff. And I don't want to waste that much more of your time. Please check the links in the description for the Spotify, the membership, and the Discord. If you guys want to check out the Spotify, it's just a different way to listen to my videos. So if you guys want to check that out, feel free. Now, with all that said, I don't want to waste much more of your time, and I want to get right into it. So let's get it. Tanjiro, Kamado, and, well, you know, Inosuke and Zenitsu head off on their first real mission with a Hashira. A first real mission that will change their lives and perspectives forever. And the reason why everything right here and right now will change beyond their beliefs is because not only will they watch a Hashira in Rengoku absolutely slay these demons, absolutely destroy and dismantle these few demons, on top of that, they will get a new kind of lease on what this really means, what it really means to be a demon slayer. And they just watch Rengoku do this, absolutely obliterate the first couple demons that show up on the train, or these first couple train demons, but this would lead them to going to sleep. But Tanjiro, after falling asleep because of some altercation, or more or less some nefarious things that obviously occur, Tanjiro would see various spirits that include his own family and also many others as well. These spirits are telling him that none of this is real, none of this is true, and that he needs to get out of here as soon as possible. That he needs to get out of this situation as soon as possible. And this would terrify him. He would wonder, what's going on? Like, seriously? Like, is this real? Is this really all a dream? I mean, it definitely would make him feel uneasy. It would definitely make him feel terrified. It would for sure make him question everything that is going on, leading him to eventually finding a way to wake up, leading him to finally finding the way out of that odd dream that was trying to give him the quote-unquote life he desired deep back within his brain. But obviously, he knew now, with the spirits talking and the spirits whispering, that none of it was real. It was all just a facade, and it was all fake. None of it was true, and none of it was real. So he finally was able to break free, and he was able to utilize his own strength, the spirit's strength, and also the help with Nezuko to take over the entire train, protect all the normal humans that are there, or the humans in general that are there, but also have a face-off with Enmu before you knew it. And they would clash. Him and Enmu would go back and forth for a little bit, leading to Tanjiro actually landing a crucial blow, a blow that would slice Enmu's head straight off. But this is not the real Enmu. This is actually not the actual Enmu that is, well, they're trying to kill. The real Enmu is the actual train. And that right there is something that nobody would have thought, at least not at that moment and not at this time. But that's what this Enmu is. The Enmu that they know is hiding within the front of the train. With the help of an awakening Inosuke, and eventually a Zenitsu who is doing his own thing while literally sleeping, he is fighting alongside all of them. And as they're kind of pushing forward, as they're trying to get to the neck of Enmu, and eventually Rengoku awakens and all this stuff occurs, it is now time for them to really step up, and that's to execute Enmu for good. Get rid of him, get him out of here, and honestly end this reign of tyranny from that one person. And what they're going to do next is going to allow them to take out Enmu. They team up and come together to take down Enmu, and together as a kind of a duo and a trio with Zenitsu, but mostly a duo with Inosuke and Tanjiro and the spirits that Tanjiro carries along with him. They're able to close in on Enmu's location. And then once they close in on that location, finding that it is just, well, literally and legitimately, the head of Enmu is literally in the front of the train, they would find that location and figure out how to execute it and figure out how to take it down. And that's exactly what they end up doing, slicing through that front of the train after, dealing with these other people and dealing with the kind of conductor and stuff like that. They're able to handle the conductor and handle this kind of little ordeal that is basically going on. And this would lead them to finally being able to strike down Enmu and finally being able to strike down basically this demon that has taken over this entire train, but also taken over every single person that is within. And this right here is a scary, scary thing, because at the end of the day, this was a terrifying moment for everybody. And what they had to do was they had to take out Enmu swiftly and quickly. And initially they would think that this would be the only hard part about this. This was the threat for the day, but that's actually not true. This is not the only threat for the day. And this all led to the arrival of the Upper Three Moon, known as Akaza. And this would change the course of events so greatly that they would have no idea that they'd be stepping into a new time, a new place, and a new kind of timeline that could truly occur. Because when Akaza goes head to head with Rengoku, Tanjiro would help him with his spirits, and they would all come together to try to strike down and defeat Akaza. And this would lead them to gaining an upper hand that would sacrifice Rengoku, but would lead to a slice between all four of them: Zenitsu, Inosuke, Tanjiro, and even Rengoku, slicing toward the neck of Akaza, all four of them clashing with his neck, slicing it clean off, as the sun would be approaching only minutes away. But as the neck and as the head of Akaza would fall and clatter to the ground, this is when they would be shocked to see that Akaza's body still moves, attacking Rengoku once again, but Rengoku is able to get out of the way as he's bleeding pretty badly. Tanjiro wants to help do something, but Rengoku knows that his time on this planet, and his time with them is over. He would send his sword through the chest of Akaza, digging him into the ground and holding him still as Akaza's body would slowly begin to deteriorate. And this would put every single demon on notice that the Demon Slayers mean full business and that they will not give up without a fight. And the truth is, this would change the course of events so drastically, not just because the Upper Three Moon dies and passes on to the afterlife, but because he doesn't. It might sound odd, it might sound weird, but Tanjiro stands there in front of the spirit of Akaza, and Akaza looks at him and then looks toward the sky, thinking that maybe he should just leave and go to the afterlife and go on with whatever punishment and whatever has to happen for him to repent. But then he looks back at Tanjiro and he asks him if they will defeat Muzan, if they will defeat the demons that plague this world and the horrible, horrible people that killed the people he loved so much and what drove him to this. He looks at Tanjiro and asks him, does he promise that they will win, that they can stop all of this? They could even stop people like him, aka people like Akaza. And Tanjiro says that he promises that he will. And this would lead Akaza to telling him that he will stand beside him before he goes on to the afterlife, and he will fight alongside him with the spirits that he now has. The spirits like Makomo, Sabito, and now Akaza follow suit, and it seems as if this spirit, this one spirit that now has changed and swapped sides, a demon, one of the strongest demons on the planet, now swapping sides, and Muzan, well, he'll have no idea what's going to hit him because he believes that Akaza was just defeated, that Akaza was just put in the dust and put away for good. But what he doesn't know is that Akaza actually is now on the side of the Demon Slayers, and Tanjiro would continue his training, continue his preparation, and he would continue preparing truly for what's to come. But they would still be extremely saddened by the loss of Rengoku, and Tanjiro would try his best to perfect every little bit that he could possibly learn. But obviously Akaza is not the only spirit that he now carries with him, carrying Rengoku alongside him as well, teaching him anything he needs to know about sun breathing, and slowly but surely allowing him to learn more and more about the breathing style that was truly attached onto him before he was latched onto by various spirits. But with the help of Sabito, Makomo, Akaza's spirit, and even Rengoku's, it seems as if the preparation for these Demon Slayers are beyond even measure, leading them to actually going to the entertainment district, trying to help out with Tengen Uzui and help him take out any kind of threats that are to his wives and any threats that need to be taken down for good. And that's exactly what they do. They disguise themselves as wives and head into the entertainment district, and as a battle would eventually break out between Daki and Gyutaro versus the Demon Slayers, soon Daki and Gyutaro would now realize that they are not only outnumbered, but they are outclassed, because when they see Akaza himself with also a spirit version of Rengoku as well, a spirit Rengoku and Akaza standing in front of them, they wonder, how is this possible? They watch as Rengoku strikes down toward Daki and Akaza strikes down toward Gyutaro to try and even out any playing field he can, and Gyutaro cannot keep up. The power of Akaza still maintaining as his within his spiritual form, the same as he was when he was a demon, and this would terrify him, but give Muzan heads up to what the hell is going on, because after the eventual defeat of Daki and Gyutaro, they would not decide the same fate to basically, help out the Demon Slayers. They would go on to the afterlife, and this would lead, obviously, Muzan to realizing that they need to do something now. That if they don't do something now, that things will start crumbling quicker than you would imagine. And yes, Tanjiro and everybody else begins to recover at the Butterfly Mansion, and as Tanjiro would eventually go to the Swordsmith's village and face off with or with training with Yoriichi Type 0 and working with Genya and also Mitsuri and Muchiro, he would also have a chance to train with various other spirits. I mean, still training with Sabito, Makomo, but also with a Hashira basically in his pocket, being that of Rengoku. So he's able to channel those spirits, help him train even further, and allow him to advance in his own power quicker than you would imagine. So when Tanjiro, Nezuko, Genya, and Mitsuri face off with Hantengu, all of the forms that face off with them would be combated by Akaza, Sabito, Makomo, and Rengoku, and many others that stand beside them. So it more is like a way easier and way simpler battlefield for them to handle, leading them to actually deleting Hantengu, like getting rid of him pretty quickly. But that small version of him that still hides away the neck that they were looking to basically slice off becomes harder and harder to actually slice off. And he does his absolute hardest, like his absolute best to stay the hell away, and his absolute best to make sure that he doesn't get caught and doesn't get, killed. So he does everything in his power to do just that, but it doesn't necessarily matter. He still falls short, and he still is defeated, and he still is defeated basically the same way that he was in the first place. But as this is all happening, as this is all occurring, and as Muchiro would be just finishing up his fight with Gyoko, it seems as if there's a message that would be sent to Tanjiro. A message not from Muzan, not from anyone else, but from Nezuko herself. Nezuko tells Tanjiro that the sun is coming, but that to not worry about her. Don't worry about what's going to happen. And she tells him that something deep inside her is telling her that she can stand in the sun just like them. Tanjiro tells her, don't do this. This is not worth the risk. They don't know. But Rengoku, Akaza, and all of them tell him that there's something about the girl. Akaza especially tells him that there's something about her, and there might be a chance that she's the one to conquer the sun. And if she is, they need to get her away from Muzan as fast as possible, or they need to stand their ground and they need to defeat him and use her as a bargaining chip to get him to come out and fight. Tanjiro looks at them and shakes his head, but realizes that they're not wrong. They're not wrong. Because once she conquers the sun, if she conquers the sun, and spoiler alert, she would, the sun would rise and she would conquer it that day. But they would wonder, would this force Muzan to hunt for Nezuko? And Akaza would confirm that if he wants it bad enough, and he knows he does, there's no world that Muzan doesn't come running after her ASAP, or as soon as he possibly can. And the Hashira and many others over at the Hashira Mansion, or the Butterfly Mansion, would tell everybody that it's now time for them to up the ante, up the training, and up everything they possibly can do, because they don't have a choice anymore. They have to get stronger. They have to get better. They have to get faster, and they have to be more prepared, because whatever is to come, whatever is going to happen, and whatever could possibly happen with Nezuko, with everybody else, they need to be ready for Muzan's eventual arrival and eventual last sprawl and a last take. And this leads them to training like hell with various Hashira, every single one of them setting up their own training sessions, from even retired Hashira like Tengen to even stuck up, a little bit annoyed people like Muchiro. Now, many of the Hashira from Obanai, Mitsuri, Saname, Gyome, and so many more help out where they can, train where they can, and this, at the end of it all, they would eventually find out that there's been a spy watching them all along, a spy watching them as Muzan is going to confront Ubiyashiki and wants to confront the true mentor of all the Hashira, the head of all of the Hashira, and all the Hashira and Demon Slayers alike would stop their training and would head off to try and save Ubiyashiki. Before you know it, it would be too late. An explosion would ensue. Flames would engulf the person they looked up to for so long, the true master of all the Hashira, would be engulfed in flames, and they would stand there face to face with Muzan for the very first time, ensuing in what they call the Infinity Castle. But the fight for the night, and the fight to the very, very, very beginning of sunrise, is something that everybody will remember, and something that Tanjiro is more than prepared for when in terms of dealing with the spirits that stand next to him, and the spirits and people and Hashira and Demon Slayers willing to sacrifice their own lives for the greater good. And Akaza, well, he would be looked at by Muzan, seeing the spirit of Akaza, calling him a traitor, calling him something that he could have helped. If he was just stronger and wasn't so incompetent, maybe he would have lived. But Akaza responds, and he tells Muzan that what they were doing and what he was doing was not living. And soon, Muzan, you will see that as well. And this is where we are going to end off the final parts of What If Tanjiro Had Spirit Breathing. And I know some of you all want me to go into the manga and stuff like that. I do have intentions of doing that. I think what I'm going to do is, when the first movie comes out, that is my go-ahead to, I will go throughout the whole manga now. It's really not that much. I just personally have been doing only anime, no manga for a long time. And I did it a little bit here and there, but I like sticking to only the anime. But I can make a promise here that once the first movie of Demon Slayer comes out, where we're probably going to see one of the fights, I'm not sure which one of the fights, I will then go on and start doing the Infinity Castle and then the Sunrise Countdown. I hope you guys are okay with that. I mean, nonetheless, that is what I plan to do, so I hope you guys are happy with that. But I hope you guys still enjoy, nonetheless. And yeah, that's all I got to say. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope all y'all have an amazing day. Later.